Hello there. I'm really pleased that today I've got this opportunity to talk with Caroline Flint, Housing Minister, on the issues that really worry people in Crawley. Caroline, hi there. I'm really pleased to have this opportunity. The housing issues are now the biggest post bag and those that attend my advice surgeries. It's overtaken all other issues. Have you got any thoughts about how we can address getting access to good quality housing in the South East?
Well, we have to recognise that regardless of the difficulties in the housing market at the moment, the need for more housing is as important as it ever was and will be in the future. That's why we're working with yourself and other colleagues in the South East to challenge ourselves about building more homes, but more affordable homes. That's homes for rent, but also low-cost home ownership options for young families who want to get that foot on the property ladder. And I've been to Crawley several times because you've invited me before in the past, and I know that whilst there are jobs and it's a thriving economy, there are many families who've lived in Crawley for many, many years and they're not seeing their sons and daughters getting the chance to get on the property ladder, and that's something we want to address.
Carol, I'm really pleased to hear this because for many parents, they just feel that their children have got no opportunities. But also for those who are renting homes from the local authority, I think many of them, if they could stay in their own neighbourhood, would be quite happy to relinquish what are large 3-bedroom family homes if it was a nice, manageable home within their community. Is there any further plans to accommodate older people?
Definitely. I mean, we do need to see a mix of homes. One of the reasons why we need more houses, Laura, is because we're all living longer. And that means that, you know, we need more homes for older people, often older people living on their own. And I think we can be imaginative about that. For some it will be about having a house, for others it might be an apartment but with fantastic facilities to support people. But, you know, what we're asking for is how we can use the housing stock we've got better, build more appropriate accommodation for different types of families, older families but also families with kids, but see where the private rented sector might work with us to give an option for some people for some of the time, but also importantly for people who do want the chance to own, have we got some finance packages, social equity, shared ownership that can make that a reality. And I think, you know, one of the interesting things about the present discussion around mortgages and houses on the market, I think it's starting to get lenders and house builders think a little bit more about the sort of finance packages that are most appropriate for people who are working hard but they haven't got big incomes but they do want to have a chance to get a foot on that property ladder, and I think that's something we are hopefully keen to explore.
Well, there's certainly initiatives I'd be very keen to pursue in Crawley. And just finally, Caroline, there's often an accusation that the money from rents then goes elsewhere and is not reinvested in the local community. But I've been aware of some really nice projects for particularly places for older people who need particular extra care, and that's come back through the Housing Corporation. Have you got any news on that or anything that we can take heart about getting some money back into Crawley for building?
Well, certainly for older people, we've done a number of projects with the Housing Corporation which has allowed us to sort of build the sort of homes, but not just homes, the services alongside them that people often need as we all grow older. We're going to be forming the Homes and Community Agency over the next year. That'll bring the Housing Corporation together with English partnerships, and we think by merging these organisations we hope to save about £1 billion worth of money, which is a good thing, but also more actively look at the some of the schemes that can bring forward housing for different groups of people, including older people. And of course alongside that we're looking at how we can make the present situation of council rents more transparent and better, something called the Housing Revenue Account, which is a very complex system. We've got a review underway at the moment which will hopefully, at the end of it, give councils a better idea about what money they've got to spend, but it also enables them for future new build development to keep the receipts and invest it locally as well. Now they could do that on their own, or they could do that with social landlords and other people as well. And as I say, we want to provide resources, but we also want to give flexibility for stakeholders locally to meet the needs of their local families' needs, because I don't think there's necessarily a one-size-fits-all across the whole country.
Caroline, that's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura.